Good evening, everybody. Welcome to an angry edition of Angie's Angles, coming to you live from Smoke Therapy, 215 Ronkonkoma Avenue, Ronkonkoma, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, the abysmal New York Metropolitans are en route, however you want to pronounce it, to an amazing stat only done once in the history of their franchise. We are sitting currently 2 games off the pace of our inaugural season of 1962 when we went 40 and 120. We're on our way to obliterate that season. I'm getting excited. This team, Harold and Harold, I am duo interstatal. This team has me angry, annoyed, full of angst, full of anxiety, trying to figure out how we're going to lose the next goddamn game. How do you pitch or give CJ Abrams anything to hit? Anything. That was a horrible approach. Mark Brooks, my brother from another. Mark and Harold Atkins, my Met fans here. And Harold, I know you're a Met fan by friendship. If we allow Carlos Mendoza, battling a little upper respiratory at the moment. If we allow Carlos Mendoza to step foot on that plane headed for the West Coast, might as well just throw in the damn towel. Do it now. And now there's rumors afloat. Kevin Elliott with his Kevalytics is predicting Bryce Harper being a New York Met. There's rumors that the Chicago White Sox might send us Murakami. Hey, David Stearns, how's that first base project working out for you, you piece of garbage? Now, I have a little conspiracy that I think I dangled last week. Where did David Stearns come from? He came from Milwaukee. And what did we do to Milwaukee? Pete Alonso took care of Milwaukee, didn't he? And what did David Stearns do? He took care of Pete Alonso, shut them out. And how about Snicker as our batting coach? His dad of the acclaimed Atlanta Braves. I don't understand. I just don't understand why no heads are rolling at the moment. Let's put you on the big screen, Harold. Harold Atkins asks, how do you get the strength to even turn the game on without getting pissed before the 5th inning? I'm a Pisces, Harold. I have eternal optimism. Eternal. Ask anybody that knows me. I'll take the worst cloudy day in the universe and make it sunny somehow. But these pyrites, these fools gold, they're really testing that positivity. That they're taking my optimism to the brink. Polanco on the DL. Senga on the DL. Although we all know Senga's really not on the DL. They're just hiding them there. Bring them all up. Bring everybody up. AJ Ewing, Clifford, bring them up. Let them play. Christian Scott, he's pitching tomorrow. Let's see how that goes. Mark Brooks, I would be having accountability on that team. There is zero accountability. How about Ronnie Mauricio? How about we throw to the proper side of the plate so you don't make that out as close as it was? Why we throw it to the first base side of the plate, Ronnie? You were literally, 70 feet away and you can't throw it to the third base side of the plate. That was an excellent job by Terrence. Officer Leonard, what's going on, Jerry? Welcome back. You've been missed, Officer Leonard. If I'm Carlos Mendoza and I still have a job tomorrow, all my infielders, because it ain't just Mauricio, they're going to be throwing. And you know what I would do? I'd put a picture of David Stearns on the proper side of the plate and hit him right in the noggin, for God's sakes. You're Steve Cohen. You gave autonomy to David Stearns. You said, here's the checkbook, Davey. Fill me a winner. Hey, Richie, what's going on, kid? Thanks for logging on, Rich. Remember back in the day when the Chicago Cubs were in our division? The joke was the Chicago Cubs were God's gift to the New York Mets. Apologies to Harold Sanderson. As I sit here before you on April the 30th. Hey, Terry, what's going on, honey? As I sit before you on April the 30th. This guy still thinks we have an opportunity for the playoffs. Because the odds are in our favor that we can't keep losing yet every single game. If we're up, if we're down, I have a feeling we're going to go on a streak, on a roll, only to be disappointed. I'm on a roller coaster with the New York Mets. I'm going up, but I never come down. I don't take the turn at 100 miles an hour. We keep climbing into oblivion. This team couldn't beat a Little League team, for God's sakes. Now, Freddie Peralta caused his own issues with the error today. But then Melendez hits a monster 3-run homer to get us back. Hey, Clark. Mark Alberti, how are you? Thanks for logging on, gents. I appreciate each and every one of you, and you too, young lady. And then what is Carlos Mendoza? Who does? What does he do? He pulls AJ Melendez, the only guy that had a heartbeat on that field today. 2 times, the man on second. No outs. First time you bunted him over. Second time, You swing away. What is going on with the basic fundamentals of baseball? Carlos Mendoza should not be allowed to go on the plate. Carlos Mendoza should be shown the door. Don't let it hit you in the ass. And I'll get people saying, but Ange, Carlos ain't playing the game. No, he's not. But he's pulling the strings. And the strings are breaking. Clark, you got to go easy on Ollie. Clark wants to say, sounds like he's taking the page right out of the Ollie Marmoron playbook. Your boys are doing fine, Clark. They've exceeded every expectation that you had. Eric Schuster, take your man love for Bauer to the shower. Bauer ain't never, ever playing a major league game, not ever. He threw a no-hitter in the freaking independent league. 7 innings. Bauer's done. Harold, I'd take either one of those guys for sure, 100%. And I'd take Robbie Thompson because every single one of those Phillies stood up for the guy. What I don't want to see is another unproven manager coming to manage the New York Mets. I don't need another rookie manager. We've been there. We've done that. It has failed, ad nauseum. Bichette's opting out after this year. What do we got? 3 more years of Soto and he opts out. Holy jumping Jehovah Witnesses. Luke Weaver, you show us you can get guys out and then you come in and give up home runs. Will the real Luke Weaver stand up? If I see Brazelbot again, I'm going to puke. Now I'm on record. I am absolutely on record saying this was a 100-win team on paper. But that is why in Major League Baseball you play 162. And unless you turn the apple cart upside down, there is nothing to look forward to the 2026 season of the New York Mets. And I thought I would never say this. I'm almost hoping, praying, looking forward to a complete lockout in 2027. Forget the Tums. I'm past the Tums. I'm on to Pepto-Bismol. If you know what I mean. I don't understand. I really don't understand this team. David Stearns with his first base experiment. Failure. And you're putting Ronnie Mauricio as shortstop when you have a bona fide shortstop in Bo Bichette. still playing third base. Thank you, Harold. I'll take the empathy 100% because I sure could use it. Terry wants to know, why is the very last day that the Mets have to get their act together to play in October? Not really sure what that means, Terry, but we put you up on the big board. Leo, what's going on, my friend? Get rid of the cancer. Lindor is calling the shots. No argument there, Leo. And while we're at it, Leo, condolences to the Leonetti family on the passing of your mom. You know this, how I feel about you, Leo. You're one of the good guys, and your mom and dad did a great job raising you, my friend. Clark wants to give me some hope and saying they're just sandbagging. Sandbagging. They couldn't sandbag a sand clam, if you know what I mean, for God's sakes. This team is pathetic. There is no life. There is no charisma. There is no chutzpah on the New York Mets. Barbara says, are you ready to come over, Ange? I'll make room next to me for you. She's a skanky fan. And that's my problem. We have an ex-skanky as our manager. And if by the time that this podcast is done tonight and he's still the Met manager, there's no counting what I'm capable of doing. You need heart. You need heart. And there's no bigger guy with a bigger heart than me. Steve Cohen, I'm available. I'll get that clubhouse rocking. I'll execute fundamental baseball. They'll be doing drills so badly and goodly, if you will, that they'll do it in their sleep. We're getting beat by sub 500 teams. And we're sub 500 teams, so don't get me wrong on that matter. But we got a what? A $327 million payroll. And that doesn't include Bobby Bonilla. This team is testing my fanhood. This team is tinkering with my faith. I am 61 years old, and the last time I won a World Series was 1986, and I was 21 years old. 21! I'm 61. 40 years is a long time for me to be suffering. And if you remember the 2015 World Series when Lucas Duda couldn't throw the ball home, it goes all the way back to then, for God's sakes. The New York Mets hierarchy needs to make a change. Mendoza goes, Snicket goes. I couldn't even tell you who our pitching coach is because obviously he's irrelevant. And you better not hand the team to Korea. He looks like he just graduated high school. And never mind Carlos Beltran either, that freaking ass cheater. Harold wants to let me know that the Cubs suffered for 108 years, and you guys will turn it around eventually. Well, if that's the case, Harold, then I got to live another 100 years. Harold Atkins says Peterson and Sega has to go. Beatty, Vientos, Alvarez look as lost and confused as the manager, who throws out a different lineup every day. These experiments have failed. Terry, I don't doubt your fanhood. You are like the Met fans, diehard. You all excel at rooting for the losing team. All true. For God's sakes. Carlos Mendoza needs to go. He needs to go. You need to pull the plug. You need to go into the locker room as the general manager and say everybody's being held accountable. And I don't care if you're getting $30 million or $2 million a year. If you don't hustle, if you don't start producing, you got to sit your ass on the bench and fill up the Gatorade jug or wash my car, whichever you prefer. We are 2 games off the worst record in our franchise history, off the pace of 40 and 120. 40 and 120 were 2 games off the pace. Don't worry. Give us the weekend against Mike Trout and the Angels. We'll be right on pace. I now watch the Met games not saying how they're going to pull this out. I'm sitting there saying, even with an 8-run lead, how are we going to blow the game? And that's disgusting! Now, you want to call the schedule a little demanding? This is our 3rd trip to the West Coast in 30 games or so. And that sunny days are ahead of us because that means we're going to have a longer home game streak going on. I don't understand. I don't understand. We're at the 8:54 mark. Boy, that time fly by. We're jumping into the prayer circle. We got a couple newbies to the prayer circle, sadly and unfortunately. Harold, we're praying for Dawn Squared. Doug and Allison, Carol and Bob. Scott Tobias, we're praying for your wife, your mom, and your son Anthony. Terry, thanks for showing up tonight. We're praying for your mother-in-law and your mom's legs. Antoinette Brooks, your brother Mike in search of a kidney. Linda Stein. We're praying for your dad, your mom, yourself, and your new chapter in life. Kevin Elliott, we got your health challenges in our prayers. Devin Lee down in Maryland. Praying for you guys. Marianne Bello. Larry Levy, your wife Frida, as her cancer remains in remission. Word from Mrs. McGowan that Mr. McGowan's getting stronger, walking a little bit more jovial and talking. God bless you, Mr. McGowan, sir. My good friend Ralphie, pray for your health and your personal challenges. Peter and Shanny, can we hit our knees tonight and pray that Shanny's job offer comes through? And we're praying for their grandson who's currently in the hospital. Newly born, not really eating and gaining weight. They're running all sorts of tests. They don't know what the issue or the challenge is. So please pray for Peter Shanny's grandson. Big Joe, we're praying for your friend Irene. Joe Echevarria, pray for your heart condition. I might be on that list with you, Joe. West Coast State Prince, praying on your blood work. Johnny Barbecue, I think we're going to take you off this prayer circle next week as your sciatica seems to be healing just fine. Johnny W., we're praying for Elizabeth. Johnny V., we're praying for your father-in-law. Mike, we're praying for your dad, Richard. Mark Brooks, stop falling down, Mark. You remind me of the Mets. Stay vertical. And we're praying for Anaya's uncle who seems to be recouping. Tom, my friend here at Smoke Therapy, we pray for Pat, cousin Jim with cancer, and his friend Billy who's in the hospital. Jason Mertz, we're praying for your son Colton as he continues his knee rehab. Mike, my poker friend, we're praying for you, my friend, as you recover from your issues. Billy, another buddy from Smoke Therapy, we're praying for your health challenges. Tommy Bikes, we're praying for your mom who's in the hospital with a bum hip. And as I mentioned earlier, we're praying for Leo's mom and the Leonetti family as they lost their mom. It's never a good time, a good thing when that happens. But, sir, Leo runs LIBUO with Bill. Me and Danny are umpires in the organization. And it was my sincere blessing and luck to have met these two gentlemen. So prayers out to the Leonetti family. And Harold wants to let us know that his coworker Dawn is doing much better. Okay to just continue to pray for my wife's challenges. Beautiful. I'm glad to hear that, Harold. God bless everybody that's on the prayer circle. And for those that have lost family or have loved ones in the hospital, continue prayers. We're going to see what this weekend brings. We're going to see if we get any news on the Carlos Mendoza hot seat watch. Check out my shorts. Please like and subscribe to YouTube, Angie's Angles. Look me up on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Tell a friend. Tell a friend. It's been Angie's Angles coming to you live from Smoke Therapy, 215 Ronkonkoma Avenue, Ronkonkoma, New York. For the Mets. Please field a formidable team tomorrow night. Good night. God bless. I love you.